saying that these waves are not quite as big as what we saw back in 2014 for Hurricane Marie, but they're saying this is probably the next kind of bigger waves, not as big as Marie, obviously, but the next kind of larger waves that we haven't seen in a while. So that is why they're really urging folks to kind of take caution if you're headed toward the coast the next few days, because we do have the beach hazard statement, the high surf advisory, and also coastal flooding. But I also want to mention that today's the day where that gradual cooling, it's just some modest cooling taking place, and we're going to continue to feel temperatures just drop by another degree or two as we head into tomorrow. But you can see the temperature change, the difference compared to this time yesterday. We're down by 2 degrees for Simi Valley, down by 3 for Camarillo, down by 1 for Malibu, and we're down by 3 also for the Big Bear area and also for San Bernardino. So what that translates into is that we're still dealing with some warmer than normal temperatures in the low 70s for Newport Beach, almost at 70 degrees for Fullerton. But you could see we're not quite at 70s for the Pasadena area like what we saw over the weekend. 62 right now for Pasadena, and we also have these upper 60s for the Burbank area. Here's a look at the beach hazard statement and also the high surf advisory. So you could see that up and down the coast, we're dealing with the bigger than normal waves, 4 to 6 feet possibly, sets up to 7 for some of the Orange County beaches, especially for those south to southwest facing beaches. And then we do have those dangerous rip currents, as you just saw in our video. And again, it's all because of Hurricane Genevieve. You could see as it continues to kind of sit over the Pacific, but it will move a little bit more to the northwest here in Southern California. And also, you may know the difference, especially if you live near the coast. We have the return of some of the patchy low clouds and fog, some of it also starting to move inland. So this is also going to help with the slight cool down that we're expecting this afternoon. Obviously, it's still going to be hot, especially for this time of year, but it won't be as hot as over the weekend. So this is what we're calling some modest cooling taking place. So we do have some patchy low clouds and fog near Santa Monica, near the South Bay, near the Long Beach area, and then also near Huntington Beach. And then you can see inland, we do have a lot more of the clear skies. So that's what we are looking at the moment. But here's a look at those current conditions. Temperatures this morning, as I mentioned, we have those high 60s for downtown LA, 70s for Anaheim, 65 for Beverly Hills, and for LA and Orange County, we're looking at a high today. Still toasty, still above average, still in the high 80s. But the good news is that we're going to feel just a little bit of that cooling because we have just some slight dry air starting to sneak in, which is what we like. But it's still going to leave us hotter than normal, but at least it won't be as hot as the weekend. And the reason for that is because the high pressure system that has brought us all the heat the last few days, it's shifting more to the east. However, it's not going to be a very long cool down, because by the end of the week, we're looking at high pressure starting to get stronger, moving toward the Four Corners region. That's going to increase the heat and also push back a little bit more of that humidity. And the humidity will also start to return for the weekend as well. So just enjoy the next few days, because by the time we head into Friday, into Saturday and Sunday, it's going to get really hot, possibly some of the hottest temperatures we've seen all season. 68 degrees right now as we head into the next hour for the Inland Empire. And you can see by 7 a.m., that's when we get into the 70s, and then we'll continue to see temperatures tick up. So dew point, another good form of moisture measurement in our atmosphere. Usually we like it in the mid 50s. It hasn't really been like that for a lot of places the last few days, just because of the humidity. You can see the dew points are still pretty high, still in the mid 60s, and that means that it's still a little bit sticky, still humid for our liking. But the good news is that some of that dry air starts to move back in, so it's going to feel just a little bit better. Not quite in the pleasant category just yet, but it's going to be better than what we're going to feel over the weekend. And if you're not used to dew points, here's a look at the relative humidity. We have high 80s for the downtown LA area, mid 80s for LAX, and we have low 90s for the city of Chino. So again, modest cooling because of the way this high pressure system is moving away. But by the time we head into the latter part of the week, it gets stronger, it gets a little bit bigger, and that's why temperatures will start to go back up. So by Friday, get ready for 90s for LA and Orange County. From now until Thursday, we're going to be in the high 80s. And then for the valleys, I've already issued that next weather alert by the end of the week into the weekend, because look at these numbers: 107 by Saturday, 106 by Sunday. So the weekend is definitely going to be hot for a lot of our inland communities. The Inland Empire, coolest day will be Wednesday, 98 degrees. And then you can see the weekend, 109. All right, Kalina, back to you.